Hello, and welcome to More Together with School District 25, where each week we'll take a deeper dive into some of the issues, accomplishments, news, and current events happening around our school communities. This is a chance for listeners to get to know the school district and learn more about the educational issues you care about the most. I'm Courtney Fisher, and joining me today is Julie Morris. Julie is the program coordinator for School District 25's Voice program, which serves learners with special needs who have graduated from high school and are between the ages of 18 and 21. Julie has been awarded several grants through School District 25's Education Foundation, and myself and other Ed Foundation directors recently had the pleasure of visiting the Voice classroom to see how that grant funding is being put to work. I've invited Julie to the podcast to introduce our listeners to Voice and share more about the program. So let's get to it. Welcome, Julie. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for inviting me, Courtney.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited to have you here. Will you just first tell us a little bit more about yourself and your work with School District 25?
I started with School District 25 maybe about 8 years ago, and I was an ELA special ed teacher at Alameda. And then when Martha Fay retired, I moved over to the Voice program, and it has been a fantastic experience.
So tell us a little bit about Voice. What is Voice? What does that stand for, and who does it serve?
The Voice program stands for Vocational Opportunities for Independence and Community-Based Education program.
That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful. So that's what Voice stands for. We serve 18 to 21 students with special needs who have graduated through their IEP.
Okay, so even though this is a School District 25 program, Voice is housed on the campus of Idaho State University. Is that right?
That is correct.
So tell us why that location is so important and what opportunities it provides learners to be connected in a university setting.
Well, first off, we moved up to ISU because they are now with their same age peers. So if they were housed in a high school, you would have 14-year-olds with 18 to 21-year-old students, adults. And so ISU is just a more appropriate setting for these kids. And along with being housed on ISU grants all of our Voice students ID cards, ISU ID cards, student ID cards.
So they really feel part of that campus community. And what does that do for those learners?
Oh, they just blossom. I mean, when they come in the fall, they can't do anything. They still raise their hand to go to the bathroom, and it's just teaching them how to become independent. They have a check-in, check-out board. They get to participate in homecoming. Wednesdays are Bengal Wednesdays. They get to participate in everything with that. Anything that they have to show their ID for, they are allowed to participate in.
So you're telling me about one particular student, Sydney, and tell me a little bit more about her story and how she was when she came and how you've seen her blossom.
When she started off, she couldn't do anything by herself. She wanted help with everything. You know, if she wanted to go to the bathroom, somebody go with me, or what can I do? And we have just watched her. She's great now. I mean, she works down at the Disability Service Center on campus in the Rendezvous Center. Mm-hmm. And at first she needed help getting down there and back. And now we gave her a map and she's like, see ya. And she walks down to work by herself and she'll text us and say, hey, I'm coming back. And just so we know about what time she's going to be walking back up to the building. And she can bully the best of the boys around. Bully's not the right word. Boss. She's just so independent. I gave them all a task to do, and they were kind of procrastinating. And she got up and says, "Okay, I'm going to ask each one of you the questions that we are supposed to answer." And then she wrote their responses down.
Wow. So you just really see that independence blossom as those learners come to you, and then as they go through that program. That's amazing. So can you tell us a little bit about, you've mentioned IDVR, and you can tell me what that stands for, but how that partnership has opened up greater access for learners to get excited about the careers that are available to them?
So Idaho Vocational Rehabilitation is what IDVR is, and that is a state program that helps students with disabilities transition also if they chose not to come through my program, or if they didn't qualify for my program, then they could go right into IDVR, and they would help them with job placement, skills that they may need. They just do a phenomenal job. And about 3 years ago, when I took over the voice program, Robert presented to me and the district if we would be willing to pilot a program where our students are paid a livable wage for a job. So it's a paid internship, basically what they do, and we try and place them in internships that they really want to learn how to do.
That is so fantastic. Every time I visit your program or meet your learners when they've helped with Festival of Trees and setting up for the gala, they love telling me about their jobs.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about some of those employment opportunities that have been presented to our learners.
They're fantastic. All the employers in the community have been wonderful to work with. Rich, he was on the cover of the newspaper today. He works at Bilo's, and he's learned how to stock shelves. He greets everybody that comes into the store. He'll wash the windows. He goes and distributes their flyers. And it's a great service to the community and to the employer, because the employer just has to give them something to do.
Right.
And the district cover workman's comp if they were to get hurt. The district pays them. Then I fill out the paperwork. IDVR reimburses the district for their pay.
So, Julie, we had a chance to visit Voice this past Monday, and I want to try to illustrate for our listeners some of the unique and exciting activities and plans that you've enacted over the past couple of years, some of which has been made possible by grant funding from School District 25's Education Foundation. Can you describe for us the grants you've received and how those grants funded projects have literally been coming to life for Voice?
Well, our big one right now is our greenhouse. That's been a fantastic experience. And we've partnered with some master gardeners and with ISU to help us with understanding soil. And they have planted what they call a salsa garden. So it's different types of tomatoes and peppers and an herb to go with it. And that you could just come and make salsa. And you can purchase those plants and grow them. And they've decided what plants they don't sell, they'll go ahead and plant and make their own salsa in the fall and can it and sell it or distribute it to families in need or donate it to a food bank.
So that greenhouse project was funded by School District 25 Education Foundation through a grant you wrote and were awarded. Our foundation directors joined me for a tour this past Monday, and we saw tomato plants and chickens and ducks, and it was just it's always such a joy to go up to the Voice program to visit with your learners and see exactly what you're doing. But tell us a little bit more about the chickens and the ducks and your plans for those.
That goes back to Rich. He's asked me for 3 years for baby ducks, and I keep telling him no. And so finally they were on sale at one of the stores, so I bought him 2 ducks, and he has just done such a good job with those ducks. Has not lost interest. He takes care of them. He comes in every morning. Before they moved into the greenhouse, they were in a pen in our classroom because they still don't have feathers. And instead of putting them in a consumable bedding, we put him on towels. And so he would put the ducks in the sink every morning when he would come in. They would take their bath while he was cleaning out their pens. So he had to do duck laundry and clean out their pool. And then when he got everything ready and he was ready, he took the ducks out, put them back into their pen and fed and watered them. Then he had to go back and sanitize the kitchen and the sink where they were taking their bath, and he had to do that twice a day, washing their laundry. And now they're moved out to the greenhouse, so he walks in the morning and checks the temperature of the greenhouse and goes out and changes their pond and feeds them and makes sure they're doing okay. And he still likes to give them their baths.
You can tell he's giving them such loving care, and he was so excited to share with all of us what that experience was like. So thank you for taking us on that tour. You and your learners are always coming up with really creative fundraising projects. Tell us about some of those projects and fundraisers and how they benefit your learners and your program.
Well, a lot of our fundraisers are basic skills that they need to learn how to do. That would be an entry-level skill for a job. So one of One of the projects that we purchased with the Festival of Trees grant money was a sublimation ink printer and heat press along with the Cricut maker, so they can actually design their project, print it out with sublimation ink, and then use a medium of their choice to print or put that on through the heat press.
So what kinds of projects do you have going on right now?
Right now they are designing they just designed a new logo for the year, or for our program, and that's going on to shirts, and they have some different bags that they're making. And let's see, the other thing that they're also learning how to do is use a sewing machine that's a hybrid embroidery machine. So they're learning how to set that up, because that's also another entry-level skill that they could transfer from the program out to a potential job.
Okay, so you have your summer marketplace coming up. Tell us about some of the things that visitors will be able to find and purchase to support the voice program at that summer marketplace.
We have a lot of different products that my students have come up with. We've been raising chickens. We ordered some eggs as well as pullets, and so they have been raising pullets, which is a female chicken that will eventually lay eggs, and they just set another 20 eggs of a rare breed. So they're different breeds, but they're a rare breed form. And they will be selling those eggs in the fall as part of a fundraiser. And it also teaches them how to take care of an animal. And just a lot of them don't realize what goes into taking care of them. And they're in the process of building their chicken tractor, so that way it doesn't stay in one spot and destroy the grounds. It actually spreads fertilizer throughout the whole area. And then another one, the salsa gardens that they'll be selling, that's one of their fundraisers. And they are making gardener's hand cream and a gardener's scrub.
I've got the gardener's hand cream on right now. It's silky and it smells absolutely delicious.
I'm glad you like it. We are trying some different products out this year.
Yeah, thank you for bringing me samples to sugar
welcome.
scrubs, and you've got the hibiscus sugar scrub, the coffee sugar scrub, the chainmail pot scrubbers.
Correct.
Which I'm going to have to get another one of those, because I just bought one from a manufacturer and I love it, but I would much rather have one from the voice program.
Yes, that's been an interesting experience. My students really enjoy it. I wasn't sure they would, because we just bought the raw material of the rings, and so they either have to close them or open them, and then they have to make butterflies, and then turn those butterflies into chains, and then they have to weave them together. And it's one of the best pot scrubbers that you could do for your cast iron.
Right.
And
yes, it is.
It's
a little bit like jewelry making, all of the tools and then pulling the chainmail together and putting it back together, linking them up. It reminded me of some of the jewelry making projects that I've done.
And they've also been making jewelry too, which is, they have a very unique necklace that they've been making right now, and it's out of snakeskin. And so they're pendants, and they're really cool looking.
Wow.
I didn't think they would be.
I highly encourage people to check out this sale that's coming up. We will post this on our Facebook page when it's coming up. Do you have the dates selected?
I do. The dates, I believe, are May 5th through the 14th, and they'll be 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and then on the 11th, it's 1 to 5. So that way people that are working can get off, and if they want to call or email us through the district, we can always make arrangements.
Okay, so people will just visit the Voice program up on the ISU campus, come directly into your classroom, and they'll be able to purchase those wares there.
Correct. Or we'll actually be out by the greenhouse, and that will be, our gates will be open out there. And so there's a roundabout, that way they don't have to worry about getting a ticket.
So anybody interested will also get a chance to see the grounds and see everything you're doing, all the flower bed gardening that you have. You've got all of the measures in place to really grow some amazing things up at the Voice program.
Yes, and those are all student driven. Every project that we've come up with, it's because a student has wanted to learn more about how to do something. And so we explore them and try them all out.
Well, on behalf of the Ed Foundation, we are so excited to see how you've enacted this funding and how it has impacted your program. And one of the reasons for our tour on Monday was so that our board of directors could go and see some of those funds being put to use. And we're also kicking off Idaho Gives. So anybody interested in learning more about the Voice program can see an article on the front page of the Idaho State Journal today. And yes, our friend Rich, or Bubba, as he's called in the article, is featured on the front page holding his beloved duck. And yes, he takes very loving care of that duck. So don't be concerned about the picture by any means. But anyways, Idaho Gives is launching tomorrow. And so we wanted to talk a little bit about how some of that funding has directly impacted learners and programs in School District 25, and really encourage anybody interested in giving through Idaho Gives, which is an online giving campaign. As you know, Idaho Gives started on Thursday, April 29th and runs through May 6th. So can you share, Julie, with our listeners what that funding support from Ed Foundation has meant to Voice, and why would you recommend that people consider making a contribution to support School District 25's Education Foundation?
We wouldn't be able to do half of the projects that we're able to do in the program right now if it was not for the funding that we've received from the Ed Foundation.
And is there any one program or accomplishment that you can think of that stands out as a highlight to you?
Everything. I mean, I'm not sure if I can come up with one. I mean, the greenhouse, the chickens, the ducks, the sublimation printing, learning how to do graphic design. I do have a little bit of a background in graphic design, so it's a little bit easier for me to teach them stuff. You know, I have one that wants to get into photography, and all of this stuff costs money to do it. And
right.
I'm just so grateful. I wouldn't be able to provide half of what they want to do without the funding.
Well, you've invited me up several times to interact with your learners and see what you're doing. And every time, I've been with the district for 3 years now, and every visit has become a highlight for me. They all stand out, from the learners crafting a lunch and serving it to our board of trustees, and you invited some of district administration to join you for that. That was, I mean, the food was not only beautifully presented, it was also delicious. And then your graduation ceremony that you do as part of that, and then from the tour to seeing the greenhouse and the ducks and the chickens, and how excited your learners are, and just how interpersonable they are. Really, you know, they're shy when I first get there, but from the time we start interacting, I remember Emily was really shy when I first met her, but she really came out of her shell, and they remember me when I come back, and they remember my name, they remember things about me, and it's just always such a pleasure. And I just appreciate the opportunity to be involved and invested in what you're doing.
Well, thank you. They love it when people come up from the district so they can talk about what they're learning and what they're doing. And it's just, they just blossom and grow, and it's fantastic to watch them.
Well, they deserve the opportunity to highlight that and show off a little bit, because they're doing amazing things and you're doing amazing things.
Thank you.
So anything else that you want to add today?
Oh, just to thank everybody for any help and support that they've given us. And, it's just, I couldn't do the program without the community's support.
And I want to share with people that if you donate anytime between now and May 6th, we have the opportunity to double that dollar and that contribution, thanks to a matching grant from Lookout Credit Union, who partner with us. They're such a great educational partner for us at School District 25 and the Education Foundation. But they will match any dollar given up to $5,000. And so we're really grateful for that. We also have some really fun giveaways that are sponsored by Lookout Credit Union. Also, McDonald's and the Education Foundation have donated some swag. So for instance, the first $100 donation after midnight, once Idaho Give kicks off, will receive a $50 gift card from Lookout Credit Union, so that's pretty cool. We also have some $25 gift cards. We have some McDonald's gift cards. We have some tumblers and some travel blankets and really cool stuff that we're going to give away throughout the week. Encourage listeners to follow School District 25 Education Foundation Facebook page. That's where we'll be publishing all of that information. You've been listening to More Together with School District 25 with today's guest, Julie Morris from School District 25's Voice program. And to sum up, there are ways you can help support Voice by either purchasing an item from the program's upcoming spring marketplace sale, or you can support Voice and other programs by making a contribution to the School District 25 Education Foundation through Idaho Gives now through April 26. Just a little bit more about the Ed Foundation. The Education Foundation creates and advocates for opportunities that enrich teaching and learning in the Pocatello-Chubbuck School District 25. We work to unite and engage educational stakeholders, including learners, parents and families, teachers, educators, staff, and the broader community, and support the delivery of high-quality local education. Our vision is to innovate and ignite learning opportunities that are exciting, engaging, equitable, and enduring. Julie, thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us today and share with us about your learners and the Voice program.
Thank you for having me. My students wanted to come and do this.
Well, I can imagine that Rich was thrilled when he saw the front page of the paper today.
He was. He's like, I'm a star.
Good. Well, tell him I said congratulations and what a great representation he gives to our district.
I will. Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to today's podcast. Our mission at School District 25 is to think more, learn more, and be more together. If you enjoy this podcast, remember, check us out every Friday with a new episode available on our YouTube channel. And if you have an issue you'd like to hear more about, send your ideas or questions to communications@sd25.us.